Does the Lumix S5ii's autofocus system go from phase detect to contrast detect autofocus when you switch to frame rates higher than 50p in Full HD? That's a question that I've been getting so much recently, both on the YouTube channel and also on my Instagram feed. And while I never really record 1080p video, like normally I just stick to 4K and 6K video, that means that I didn't really notice it. So I thought what I'd do today is just make a very quick video just going through exactly what happens when you go to 1080p and higher, to sort of dispel what's going on with the camera and to hopefully just shed a little bit more light on the topic that people seem to be asking questions about. So in order to test this for myself, I just put a lens on the table and then I was holding up a remote control in front of that lens to see how quickly the S5ii would latch on to the new subject in the frame. And I did this in 4K 25 and 50p and also in 1080 25 and 50p, as well as 100p as well, just to see what the results were like. And as you guys can see, in the 4K modes, in the 25p and the 50p, it's obvious that you're using phase detect because the focus is very quick and very snappy. And bearing in mind also, guys, I was using speed 0 and sensitivity 0 in my AF settings as well, and that was a constant throughout this whole test. And then 1080p 25p as well was absolutely fine. It just looks really snappy, really good. And then 50p, it does actually slow down quite a lot, and you get some of those sort of hallmark traits of the contrast detect autofocus system, which actually leads me to believe that it is correct. You are actually switching back to contrast detect only when you get to 50p in 1080. And I know that some people might be asking, well, how come you still have phase detect at 4K 50? And well, ultimately that's because you crop into the sensor. At 4K 50 you have an APS-C crop, whereas at 1080p 50 you are using the full width of the sensor, so you're getting the full sensor readout, and that is probably why you are going back down to contrast detect autofocus there. So for the guys who are asking me this question, the answer is yes. If you want to shoot in 1080p 50, you will be using contrast detect autofocus. So ultimately, is this a big deal? I mean, for me it's really not a big deal, because as I said right at the start of the video, I never shoot in 1080p, and I never actually utilize any frame rates above 50p either. And if I did want to shoot 50p, then I'd be using 4K. I mean, if you are someone that did want to shoot in higher frame rates and utilize those 1080p codecs and still wanted to get the phase detect autofocus, then of course it might be a stumbling block for you. It just depends on your workflow and what you need in your use case. I do make a lot of videos on this channel about the Lumix S5ii and the S5, and ultimately getting the most out of those two cameras for both photo and video shooting. So if you did want to learn how to use your camera a little bit more, then definitely check out those videos. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you over there.